Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dave, aka DREBG, senior member over at informedtrades.com. For those of you unfamiliar with Informed Trades, I welcome you to go on over and poke around a little bit. I think you'll find a lot of things there for free that you'll not get anywhere else. Some great traders, some great info, and a great place to become a member. Today is Wednesday, May 5th, 2010, and you're looking at the euro-dollar pair that continued on its dollar strength path today. I saw this trade setting up after price action had broken this support level that I had drawn in. I went short right here on the green line at 129.16. This is this morning around 8:35 New York time. You'll see MACD is heading down nicely, and we've had this consolidation area that's finally been broken. This is the 15-minute chart, by the way. My stop loss is here at yesterday's low, and my target is down here around S3. You'll see this is about a half an hour later that price action is moving nicely downward. This is the 5-minute chart, and moving back over here, what you're looking at is the 5-minute chart as I've moved my stop loss down to protect some of my downside. I'll move it back and you'll see that line move. Here's where it was, and now we've moved some of it down. Still have a little bit of risk in here, but certainly been dramatically reduced. This price action continued down. You'll see it almost got to S3, my target. I decided to take my profits off the table. This netted 170 pips since I went in with 2 mini lots, and I felt it went pretty well. So the trade went so well, in fact, you'll see on this 1-minute chart, this is the detail of where I got out, that I decided to get back in short when price action turned around, as I felt there was still some more dollar strength to carry the pair lower. So I re-entered here short, but unfortunately we had a different idea in mind, at least price action did, and you'll see it ran right up through this area where I was hoping to have a little bit of reversal. When I looked at the hourly chart here, we had this pin candle that formed, so I started to get a little nervous. I said, well, if it's going to retrace back maybe halfway down the pin, that's not even going to get me out of my trade for break even. So I'm going to enter in short again. Hopefully it gets back here on the 1-hour pin, and I can get out with a break even trade. I should mention here too, now that I'm in here for 2 trades, I'm trying to get out here at my break even. You remember from the 1-hour chart, that would be right in here halfway down the pin. Well, I'm trying to get there, and this green line represents halfway between the two, where I just want to get out for a break even. Here we started to turn around where I entered, but what ended up happening was we turned around again, went up to the 38.2, came back down and retested this area again, and then went straight up to the 50. Now if we move over to a 15-minute chart, this is where I think I felt a lot more clear on where the trade was going. We're still in a very bearish market, and everything is still, for the most part, down. And we had this pin form on the 15-minute time frame. I entered another short trade at the top here because this is a pretty good indication to me that this is going to head south. The idea being is when you have a pin candle like this, especially on a 15-minute, and you have some confluence like the 50 and the fib in a downtrend, this is a pretty good place to get short. In fact, what's the best place is to actually have it retrace up the pin a little bit and then go short from there. That's exactly what happened. If you look here on a 1-minute chart, the 1-minute shows us the pin up here on the 15. Here's the run up, there's the 50, and then the run down. And then here's that run up to halfway up that pin, and in this case this area would be the pin, halfway up the pin and then short. It worked out absolutely perfectly. The other reason I have this 1-minute time frame in here is you can see there's somewhat of a trend change in here. Simply say what you see. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. Lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low. We have a series of lower highs and lower lows. This indicates some sort of a trend change. Now it's not always as blatantly obvious on a 1-minute chart, but it certainly has the same effect. I wanted to throw this in here too. This was happening right around an hour after the chart you just saw. That was the 1-minute chart where we saw the higher highs and lower lows and lower highs. This is a 15-minute chart, and this is the Cowabunga method. I wanted to put this up because I mentioned it in a post earlier today, and I think it just makes a lot of sense. What these two lines here are the 5 and the 10 on the 4-hour chart, and it looks like a step because it's on a lower time frame. That's just how it plots. But you can see that the 5 and the 10 are definitely in a downtrend. And what ends up happening is the Cowabunga trade says, look to go in the direction of the 4-hour trend. Well, it's obviously decidedly down. And then wait for the 5 and the 10 to cross on the 15-minute chart. Well, we have a lot of braiding in here, well, that's understandable, but then we have this huge down move. We know we're still in a down trend because this is down, so we simply wait. 15-minute moved up, which is what the arrow is, the cross. We wait for the next arrow down, which is here. Boom. That's exactly what ended up happening. I could have waited until I saw this, set up, and then taken the short here, at least back down to my trade here. As you can see, I'm now in 3 different short positions. My break even, obviously, since they're almost equally distant apart, is going to be right here if it gets down to my second trade again. This here is just a nifty little indicator I have. It just shows me the 5-10 cross on any different time frame. I mean, just looking at this, would you go long? Really? Here's a 5-minute time frame at 2:30 this afternoon. You'll see that I've now finally gone past my midpoint, which means I'm now in profit. And anything in here is all profit. Now I would still be short on this trade. I'm down on this trade. I'm up on this short here, and I'm well up on this top short here. I'll be looking to get out somewhere, hopefully close to this bottom, and not take a loss on the last trade. But remember, for all 3 of these, I'm already net profit. And as you can see, this is the 5-minute chart a little bit later. I've removed the 2 top trades because I just wanted to take some profit off the table. And I'm going to see how much farther this can get down, maybe even just get out at break even and call it a day. And in fact, a few minutes later, this is at 2:46 p.m., I ended up getting out just before it reached the bottom for -8. The overall total was +72 for all 3 trades. When we add that back into my original trade for this drop down this morning, that gives us 242 pips for the day. 242, the account balance when I started was 39.27, so that gives us a net profit for the day of 6.2%. This is the actual Forex Yard platform, and I just wanted to show you where I was going short with these 3 trades, trying to get myself out of the predicament I put myself in, going short here and then having price action reverse on me. You'll see at the top, you'll see that the first trade is -46, where price action is here. The second trade is -6 because I haven't quite broken it yet. And of course, the top trade, I'm +32. The net here is right here, which is -20. If I go through a little more, you'll see that now I'm now -36, +4, and +42. I'm now at +10 as I've broken this middle trade short. This is now in profit, and this is now not in profit. This has a small profit. And then moving on here, now $25 profit and -10 profit, but you have to remember up here I've taken those other 2 trades off the table, and I finally got out with -8 on the bottom trade. So to sum it all up, here are the trades from today. The first trade you're going to see is this pound franc trade. I have to post that video yet of well, what went wrong there. That was just a horrible trade overnight last night, and I'll go into more detail there. The 4 trades we talked about today are here. Here's the first one of the day, the 170 pip drop, because I entered 2 lots, 2 mini lots that is, and then I entered 1 lot here, another lot here, and another lot here, and let them ride themselves back down to profit. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me an email at drebg@yahoo.com, and thanks for watching.